folks. Here I'm going to compare the MX Master 3S to the current version of the Keychron M6. I recently had some issues with my MX Master 3S, shown here on the left, and I decided to explore some alternative options for that, and I came upon the Keychron M6, which I'm showing here on the right. It costs $50 for the 1K polling version. That they also offer a 8K polling option for I think about $70 or $80. Bottom line, I think at the price tag and comparing it as a office and light gaming mouse, I think the M6 is a great bargain and offers about 80% of the functionality of the MX Master line for that price tag. So just some quick comparisons. I think the first thing you note if you pick up the mice here is there is a good weight difference. This feels much lighter. That can be a pro and con for folks. You do kind of attribute a bit more of a premium feel to the increased heft of the MX Master, but for the M6, it being a gaming focused mouse, weight is actually a big priority for them. So they're gonna want a lighter weight mouse. I will say I personally prefer a bit of heftier mouse. I would say the gaming is maybe 10% of my usage. One of the reasons why I went for that 1K polling version, but that's just my personal preference. Kind of segueing into that, on paper, the differences between the two mice are all about the gaming focus specs. You can go on their website and compare them, but ultimately it's not really too much of a comparison. The current MX Master 4 as well as the 3S, which I'm showing, both have 125 polling. That is nothing compared to the 1000 on my mouse here, the M6, and then of course nothing compared to the 8K. But that being said, I played like Call of Duty and Battlefield with my MX Master. For my, amateur pick up and play type of play style, I never really had any issues. Things really to directly compare them around the connectivity and ergonomics. So first, the connectivity is on par, if not better. They both offer dongles and Bluetooth connectivity. In the Bluetooth game, Keychron actually offers a bit of a step up. So it has 3 Bluetooth profiles plus your dongle, so you can actually have 4. Whereas the MX Master, they only have 3 profiles, including a dongle. Also, the M6 you can use in wired mode. I tested that out very briefly. The charging port offers a little bit of clearance, so if you want to, you could use the included cable in full wired mode when you're using the mouse. It's not something I plan on doing. I will say as a con, in about a week of use, the dongle with the M6 seemed to have a little bit more, or I had a couple issues compared to the Logi bolt connector, which I had for the MX Master. That pretty much never had any issues for the exact same port, same location, same distances. So I actually might do one of the options, which is you can plug the dongle into the provided cable as an extension, and then I might just clip that to the back of my desk. It'll be out of sight, still wireless, but provide direct line of sight between the mouse and that dongle. I guess one key thing, so I'll show the bottom of the mice here. So this is the M6, and the layout is a bit different. So on the MX Master, there's just an on and off button, or a selector, and then a profile switch. This one actually has the same layout, but then it has 2 extra buttons. One is for the DPI, and one is for the polling rate or the report rate. So you can change these directly on the mouse without having to go any software, which is really nice. You can do the software to actually change what those presets are. So if you wanted, say, 2 to be, I don't know, 400K or yeah, 400K polling or 400 polling, you can do that as you'd like. And here, just for reference, is the bottom of the MX Master 3S. You can see it has the power switch up top and then the 3 profile button. So a couple other comparisons. For me, the ergonomics between the two mice are very similar, right? You both have this thumb rest here, you both have the side scroll and the buttons in roughly the same location. They both have infinite scroll, quote unquote, and ratchet scroll buttons on them in the same location. But I actually noticed after a week of use that the M6 is a little bit narrower in this dimension right here. And for me, I'm still getting used to it, but it did feel a bit less comfortable from an ergonomics perspective. My hand was kind of crimping a bit more and actually had a little bit of hand fatigue. I think it's something I'll get used to, but they are not a one-to-one. So just keep that in mind. Then the next one is that scroll wheel. So this is the Gen 1.5, I'll call it, of the Keychron M6. And that is visually differentiated by the silver-colored scroll wheel right here. If you look on their websites, you'll see some of them have a black rubber one. People are saying that the new one feels a bit better. I haven't tested the older one, but I can say it does feel pretty premium in terms of just tactile feel. It actually, yeah, it looks very similar to the MX Master. The difference, though, is in the actual scrolling itself. So they both have that switch between, free scrolling and ratchet scrolling, which is great. But the MX Masters have this really cool, since it's a magnetic mechanism, if you hard scroll, it'll go straight into that infinite scroll, so you don't actually have to toggle in between. That technology, I think it's actually just a mechanical control on the M6. That's not present. And after about a week of use, I realized just how much I was using that, which is kind of crazy. But that on the MX Master is unbeatable, and I do miss it. The M6 also lacks the extra thumb button right here. For me, that's nothing I miss because I never really used it on the MX Master. And then last note, the software. The Keychron software is pretty neat. You can access it directly through your native browser. You have to use Edge or Chrome on Windows. I actually typically use Firefox, so I had to boot up Edge, which I never really do. But I actually love that experience way more than Logitech software. The Logitech software, the current one, it requires you to log in, and there's some loading and on all this stuff. And this is for something that you're gonna probably do to customize your mouse, maybe, once a month, if that. It's really a set and forget thing. And it did get to the point where I felt like I always had to update some sort of software or something, Logitech option software. The M6, it being right in the browser, it feels a lot more seamless. So I think that's an edge up there. So to wrap it up, I'm a big fan of the M6. I'm hoping that I get used to the slightly narrower size. Overall, the features it has, especially in terms of connectivity, I switch between a work and a personal computer. I really like the connectivity. It's a slight demerit. I think for me, I'll make it work with probably going to that dongle on wire approach. And yeah, overall good recommend.